A new face arrives at the galaxy's premier academy, but no one knows who she truly is. The transport shuttle descended through the crystalline atmosphere of Academos Prime. Passing gleaming spires, it pierced the clouds like silver needles. Inside the cramped passenger bay, a young woman pressed her face against the viewport, watching the most prestigious educational institution in the known galaxy grow larger beneath her. Maya Rivera clutched her acceptance tablet tighter. The holographic seal of the Galactic Institute flickered in her palm, still feeling impossible even after 3 months of staring at it. Humans were rare here. Humanity had only joined the greater galactic community 40 years ago, still considered newcomers by civilizations that measured their histories in millennia. The shuttle docked with barely a tremor. Maya gathered her single bag and followed the stream of passengers into the reception terminal. Around her, beings of 100 different species chattered in dozens of languages, their forms ranging from the vaguely humanoid to the utterly alien. A crystalline entity chimed past her, leaving frost patterns in the air. Something with too many legs and iridescent wings swooped overhead. She felt very small and very alone. The orientation hall could have swallowed her hometown whole. Thousands of incoming students filled the amphitheater, a cacophony of sounds and smells that overwhelmed her senses. Maya found a seat near the back, trying to make herself invisible. "Attention, incoming class." The voice boomed from everywhere and nowhere, translated instantly into comprehensible speech by her neural implant. "Welcome to the Galactic Institute. You represent the finest minds of 500 civilizations. Here, you will learn. Here, you will grow. Here, you will forge the future." The headmaster materialized on the central stage, a towering figure from the Kelthani people, his forearms gesturing gracefully as he spoke. Maya listened with half her attention, the other half focused on not panicking. She had studied for this, trained for this. Humanity had sent only 12 students this year, selected from 8 billion people. She had earned her place. But earning it and belonging were different things. Classes began the next cycle. Maya's schedule included advanced quantum mathematics, xenobiology, diplomatic theory, and applied gravitational engineering. The first 3 days passed in a blur of information and confusion. Professors spoke too quickly, assuming knowledge she did not possess. Her classmates formed groups with practiced ease, bonds built on shared cultural understanding or previous acquaintance. Maya ate alone in the cafeteria, studied alone in her quarters, and walked alone through corridors designed for beings twice her size. On the 4th day, disaster struck. The gravitational engineering laboratory occupied an entire wing of the institute. Students stood at individual stations, manipulating localized gravity fields using thought-controlled interfaces. Maya focused on her assignment, trying to create a stable micro-singularity, when alarms suddenly shrieked through the room. 3 stations away, a Vorgen student's containment field had collapsed. The micro-singularity began pulling everything toward it with terrifying force. Equipment flew through the air. Students scrambled for safety. The supervising professor rushed forward, but the singularity's pull intensified, threatening to tear apart the entire laboratory. Maya did not think. She simply moved. Her hands flew across her control interface, fingers dancing through holographic commands faster than conscious thought. She rerouted power from every station in the lab, channeling it through her own containment system. The equations flowed through her mind like music, each calculation sliding perfectly into the next. She created a counter-singularity. The 2 gravitational anomalies collided, their forces canceling in a spectacular flash of released energy. The room fell silent except for the fading alarms. Everyone stared at her. The professor, an elderly Kelthani named Master Orin, approached slowly. His 4 eyes studied her with an intensity that made Maya want to shrink into the floor. How did you do that? His voice was quiet, almost reverent. I just balanced the equations. Maya's voice came out smaller than she intended. The solution was obvious once you account for temporal drag and quantum fluctuation. Obvious. Master Oren's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. Child, what you just accomplished should be impossible for a first-year student. Most advanced researchers could not perform those calculations quickly enough to matter. Maya looked at her feet. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to show off. Sorry? The professor's laugh boomed through the laboratory. You saved lives today. This is nothing to apologize for. News traveled quickly through the institute. By evening, everyone knew about the human who had stopped a gravitational collapse with mathematics and improvisation. Maya found herself suddenly visible in ways she had not anticipated. Students who had ignored her now nodded in the corridors. Professors looked at her with new interest. She received invitations to study groups, social gatherings, academic societies. The attention terrified her. A week after the incident, Master Oren summoned her to his office. The chamber was filled with floating data spheres and gravitational models, beautiful and complex. The professor gestured for her to sit. I have been reviewing your entrance examinations, he said, manipulating a holographic display. Your scores were exceptional, but not unprecedented. Yet your performance in the laboratory suggests abilities far beyond what those tests revealed. Maya said nothing, her stomach tightening. I am curious, Miss Rivera. What exactly were you doing before you came here? The question hung in the air. Maya had known it would come eventually. She took a breath. I was solving problems. What kind of problems? The kind that needed solving. She met his gaze. I grew up in a salvage town on Earth. We took apart old spacecraft, recycled materials, fixed broken things. When I was 8, I started noticing patterns in how systems failed. By 12, I could predict cascade failures before they happened. By 15, I was designing improvements to technology we did not fully understand. Master Oren leaned back. You taught yourself. There were not many teachers where I lived, but there were computers, databases, broken machines to learn from. I had time and curiosity, and no formal education until your acceptance here. No, sir. The professor was quiet for a long moment. Then he smiled, a complex expression on his alien features. Do you know why the Galactic Institute exists, Miss Rivera? It is not merely to educate the elite. It is to find those rare individuals who can see beyond the boundaries of their own species, their own understanding. We seek those who can bridge the gaps between different ways of thinking. He brought up another holographic display, showing a complex problem in gravitational dynamics. This equation has stumped our best researchers for 3 decades. It describes the interaction between organic neural tissue and artificial gravity fields. Solving it would revolutionize medical technology across 200 species. Maya studied the display, her mind automatically beginning to parse the variables. May I? Please. She stood and began manipulating the holographic elements, rearranging terms, adding new variables, connecting patterns. Her hands moved with certainty, driven by an intuition she could not fully explain. The equation transformed, simplified, revealed its hidden structure. After 20 minutes, she stepped back. There, the solution requires accounting for quantum entanglement effects at the cellular level. Nobody thought to look there because the scale difference seemed too large to matter. But at the intersection point, scale becomes irrelevant. Master Oren stared at the solved equation. His 4 hands trembled slightly. Remarkable, he whispered. Truly remarkable. Over the following weeks, Maya began to find her place. She joined advanced research groups, working on problems that excited her mind. She made friends slowly, connecting with other students who who valued curiosity over conformity. A Terrellian engineer named Kess became her laboratory partner. A young diplomat from the Archon Collective named Vix invited her to cultural exchange sessions. She learned that being different was not the same as being lesser. One evening, Maya stood at the observation deck, watching the stars. Kess approached, their chitinous frame clicking softly. "You are famous now," Kess said in their buzzing voice. "The human who sees solutions that others cannot." Maya smiled. "I just look at things differently. That is the point." Kess gestured at the stars with their multiple appendages. "Every species here brings their own perspective, their own way of understanding. Humans are still new, still fresh. You see things we have become too familiar with to truly observe. Is that why Master Orin keeps giving me impossible problems? He gives you problems that need your particular type of impossible." Kess's mandibles clicked in amusement. There is a difference. Maya thought about her journey. The salvage town on Earth, the broken machines and discarded technology. The lonely hours teaching herself mathematics from ancient databases. The scholarship application she had submitted on a whim, never expecting acceptance. "I almost did not come," she admitted quietly. "I thought I would not belong here." "Belonging is not about being the same," Kess replied. "It is about being valued for what you bring. You bring solutions. You bring a perspective shaped by necessity and resourcefulness. That is rare and precious." Maya nodded.